Hey, welcome back. And I'd just like to start today's episode off by saying welcome to Canada, where you can get away with treason and the government will pay you $10.5 million if you commit terrorism against our ally nations. Yes, today I'm going to be talking about the Omar Khadr versus Canada debacle that's recently been leaked to the public. And God, this makes me ashamed to be Canadian. Especially with our Cuck minister, Justin Trudeau, bending his knee to a terrorist who killed a United States medic in an act of terrorism. And he recently got paid $10.5 million for supposed mistreatment in Guantanamo Bay. And what supposedly is this mistreatment that this terrorist received while serving his time in Guantanamo? Because apparently it's not nice enough for a man convicted of terrorism who would see to it that our soldiers, our Canadian Royal soldiers, and the soldiers and civilians of our ally nations would receive harm to them. And so, apparently, our Prime Minister will take it upon himself to charge the taxpayer $10.5 million to pay off Omar Khadr, and he's gonna spend the rest of his sentence living in Canada. Great. This man, yes, he was born in Canada, so therefore, he should be convicted of treason. Is that not what he did? He committed treason against our country, incited war by joining up with Middle Eastern authoritarian cultic regimes like ISIS, or I'm not sure if it was ISIS that he was with. I think it was Al-Qaeda, I believe. Not well. Burst on, I think that's it. What exactly group he was associated with him with while he was in the Middle East. But the group he was with was inciting terror attacks upon the soldiers of my country, Canada, and the soldiers of our ally countries, and even killed the United States medic, which he was convicted and sent to Guantanamo for. And now he's a millionaire because apparently our people convicted of terrorism deserve to be treated great. I'm sorry, but I really don't think so. This man is a terrorist and a traitor to our country. And why our Prime Minister thinks that it's a great idea to pay him $10.5 million of our taxpayer dollars is beyond me. He also issued an apology. Great. It's good to know that Trudeau does not have a backbone. I swear, everything Trudeau does makes me dislike him even more and more. God, that man has no idea how to stand up for himself or the values of our country. As it apparently seems that Canadians only have values when it suits him. As when he talks to the press in Canada, he says, yes, there are no Canadian values. When he talks to foreign press, yes, the Canadian values are strong. So, I ask you, Mr. Prime Minister, is giving $10.5 million in this set of so-called Canadian values that you define? Because I'd argue against that. 71% of Canadians would argue against that. 71% of Canadians think this is a deplorable act. That this is disrespectful to our greatest ally, the United States, and arguably the most powerful country in the world. And that's not really a country I'd particularly like to piss off. So, can we please just get something of like a vote of no confidence? We could just get rid of this cuck minister who will not stand up for Canada, who will not stand up for the values that we actually believe in, the values that Canadians actually care for. This man is clueless, and we put him in charge of our country. Shameful in that. But we can do better next time, right? If there is goddamn next time. This rate, he'll be funding ISIS in a year. I mean, that's a joke, of course. I doubt he'd go that far, but I mean, who knows? With his intents, I wouldn't put it past him. Though I'd call he wouldn't intentionally do it. He'd just be naive enough to do something of the sorts. As who knows what Omar Khadr is going to do with his newfound wealth. As I have a hunch that tells me that money's going to end up somewhere in the Middle East. Just a hunch. Bird on my shoulder told me. And that's all I wanted to talk about in today's video. I'd like, if you enjoyed the video, I'd like you to comment, rate, subscribe, and I'd love to hear what other people think about this Khadr incident. And Canadians watching, how do you view ourselves after we support this terrorist and people of other countries and Americans in particular? How do you view the Canadian government at this point, and after they have settled this supposed case? Alright, thanks and bye.